to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Waifu, tell, is that you?
Yes, it's me. What's up?
This is episode 162 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com, use that offer code Waifu to save on your entire cart. They actually, they got a couple of new launches coming out soon. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Lube Complex and on Twitter at Lube Complex US. To see all the new launches coming up soon. They got some new styles that's going to drop here shortly. Check out their Instagram stories and whatnot. It's also brought to you by the only thing I didn't have up. I had all this time. Patreon producers. Shout out to our Patreon producers, AB and Brown, Dre the Goat G, Johnny from Anime Lyrical Podcast, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast. Got a question from him later. And Johnny. Explicitly, Monique Williams and Nachi. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. We appreciate y'all. It means a lot to us. This episode, we're going to bring you a couple of new things that we picked up. Shout out to TCBNYC for that Yakuza wreck. And then Uncle from Another World. We got quite a few things to discuss there. I don't really have much to say on this Boruto front, but I've still been continuing it. I'm almost caught up to it completely, by the way.
Sheesh, blowing through it.
Yeah, so it was 259 episodes. I'm on 240. It's not good. It's not good at all.
It's not getting good at all.
I feel like it was good, and it fell back down, and I'm into like filler, even though they're not calling this filler, and it's pissing me off. So
it just feel like filler.
It just straight up feel like filler. I know it's not, because it's this whole Hidden Mist Village war that's about to start with these pirates and blah blah blah. It's just not holding my attention. Speaking of holding my attention, we got a few things to talk about. Before we get into that though, let's talk about our episodes of the week this week. What was your episode of the week?
Hear me out, because I know my episode of the week ain't gonna be your episode of the week, but I just really enjoyed this episode this week. Call of the Night. I really enjoyed the episode this week. It was a real good episode for me. It just felt like they're finally expanding, and like visually, sonically, and then like we got some emotional ups and downs, or like at least not the same emotional monotone we kind of been getting. Felt like good. I was like, I can kind of see where the future of this is gonna go. So I was kind of happy.
Yeah, still very dry to me. But outside of that, something that's not dry, it's not even close. That's Pharmacy from Another World. I don't know if I think I gave it to it last week, but this episode, unfucking believable. What it did in this show. It's fucking incredible. This is definitely the surprise of the year. Like, probably my favorite show this year so far. Easily.
Show this year?
Yeah. Out of the new shit, absolutely.
You mean show. This season?
This season, yeah, sorry.
Okay. I'm about to say, oh my God, like Summertime Rendering ain't come out this year.
I'm tripping. Yeah, I didn't mean to say the year. I meant
like that episode ain't just dropped.
Right. Obviously, that could be episode of the week too. That's a fucking fat episode. We're going to talk about that in the second half of the show after the break, which is going to be Summertime Rendering Overlord Season 4. And actually, my boy Ayana Koji from Classroom of the Elite. So those are going to be the 3 spoilers after the second half of the show, after our music break. So tell, before we get into the things we picked up, we got 2 questions from Twitter.
Yo,
make sure you follow us on Twitter at Mic Check Waifu and on Instagram at Mic Check Waifu. But the 2 questions come from two of our Patreon producers, J. Lee Trey from Anime Lytical Podcast and Chaotic Culture Podcast, my boy Ked the Pro. I mean, both of the questions are relatively the same, so I'm going to just read them both real quick. He said, other than Lucifer series, is there any other anime you're watching that has not met your expectations? That's what Ked the Pro said. And Johnny says, biggest disappointment series so far in the summer season. I guess those are two different questions for me personally. But biggest disappointment so far for me is Call of the Night. I am not enjoying it like I thought I would. It's not. Okay. It's not grabbing me. Some about it is super fucking dry, and like you said earlier, it still feels extremely small. Like it's so tiny. With these three people that they got in the show now, I don't really care about any of them. I don't really care about their situation at all. Where he's trying to become a vampire, she's trying to become closer to the main, the schoolgirl, trying to become closer to the main character because apparently she has a crush on him. But it's like whatever. I don't give a fuck about any of that. And then I mean, while Engaged Kiss got better this week, I still don't feel like it's as good as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to say that's another disappointment. I thought it was going to be way better than it actually is, but it's not bad. It's not a bad show. And then one thing I did pick up this week, and this is going to kind of segue into what we did pick up before I, tell answers, is the Uncle from Another World. Well, I like what they do with the animation, right? How the animation looks different from the real world compared to when he was in this anime world. I hate the storytelling. I don't like it at all. So yeah, those are my biggest disappointments. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Uncle from Another World a little bit later. But
Polo pulled a tail and couldn't just choose one.
No, quite a few disappointing series this summer, to be honest, for me.
So, I agree with the Engaged Kiss big time. Yeah, not really feeling that so far this summer. Shine On Bakumatsu Bad Boys is one I'm watching. I know Polo's not watching. I'm not gonna say it's like a disappointment, but like I felt like it was gonna be more than just like the typical shonen thing that we normally get, and it just felt more shonen this week. And then yeah, it just felt like heavy shonen this week. And then I enjoyed the uncle from coming back from a fantasy world, but what was it? It was something else. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Oof, fire! I actually like that. It's okay. Like this episode was better, but like it's not. It's probably like my least favorite of this season so far that I'm watching. Really?
Yeah. Like I think like I said, I enjoy the Uncle from Another World better. Call of the Night, I think is just I do think it's okay, but I really enjoyed this latest episode. So yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the season. Like every other one, anything else just seems like it's just doing either the same thing better, or just is better.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling like the reoccurring stuff has been better. But like, there's some situations in this season that I'm watching shows and I'm forgetting that I'm watching them. Like My Isekai Life, I keep forgetting I watched that. Black Summoner was excellent for me. Like it was a fantastic episode.
This week was a better Black Summoner episode.
But as far as Ked the Pro question goes, outside of Lucifer, which one am I dropping? I'm probably gonna drop the Uncle from Another World. I only could watch one episode before I was just fucking done. Like it's just fucking it's not funny for me at all. I'm not. Again, so, I like the art and the art styles switches they do, but I just can't fucking stand the characters. I don't like the storytelling. I don't like who the uncle is and what he's about. I don't like it at all.
So ironically, everything that you like were surprised that I didn't laugh at with Devil's a Part-Timer, I feel like this was funnier than Devil's a Part-Timer.
No, man, there's no way.
Like I thought it was funnier than Devil's a Part-Timer. And I mean, I'm not gonna say it's better than Devil's a Part-Timer because we only got 3 episodes of that in comparison.
Right.
I think Devil's a Part-Timer as a whole is probably better, but right now, if I'm like talking about a comedy series, I think this is definitely funnier.
that shit was mad corny. It was so corny.
I mean, I watched 3 episodes though. You watched 1.
Yeah, it seemed like it was trying so hard to be like self-aware, too self-aware, and I'm over it. I was over it after the first episode.
I can see that. I'll say for real, the only thing I really, really dislike, which ironically, I guess, like, because you don't mind the art style. I don't like the art style at all.
Yeah,
like, I think.
Yeah, I can see that too. I
think the art style is eerily disturbing. Like, and it's specifically him, but like everything just looks so like it's. I know it's intentionally crudely drawn, but it looks unintentionally crudely drawn. It's kind of how it feels. Like it's unintentionally that they did it that way. And then there's like the one character who looks really smooth and good, but everybody else around that character looks crudely drawn.
I think it's a juxtaposition type of thing where it's like the world, the real world for our uncle is going to be crudely drawn because it's crude. It's a fucking crude real world reality that he's back into. But every time that they showed the in-game scenes, it was normal animation. It was normal anime look. So it was. That's the part I'm like, oh, that shit's fucking dope. That's a dope way of doing this type of situation because of the situation he's in. They're trying to show the real life being as fucking just ugly as possible because for him it is, and the world he coming from, even though
they called him an ogre, so I guess that makes sense too.
Even though he was ugly there too, it was still like artistic, but like it was fucking super cool. Like it was just the whole cell phone jokes and the Amazon. I'm like, okay,
you ain't like the Sega jokes.
No, I'm like,
when he turned on the Sega Saturn and it was Sonic the Hedgehog, I was like,
they tried too damn hard. What's cool though is them actually using the names of real shit though. Like how shows they can't do that because of budget reasons. They're actually legit using the names. That's pretty cool. But other than that, no. I mean,
maybe that's why the animation is half bad.
Possibly, shit. I am going to tell you something I did get the nod in my main rotation though. This is one I'm going to watch every week. See, like with the uncle one, I might come back to that one when it's done. Maybe if I literally have nothing else to watch, which is probably not going to happen. But I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just throw it out there because it's not that it's Lucifer bad, right? It's just not for me bad, you know. Mm-hmm. But the Yakuza, the babysitting Yakuza one, I don't know the full title. Let me get the full title because I should do that proper because this show, the Yakuza guys to babysitting. This show was way better than it had any right to be. Absolutely incredible. I'm talking for me personally, and this might sound crazy. This is on a level of Spy Family good for me. I'm like, this shit is so good. For episode 2, I was invested in every single character in this show. I was feeling welled up emotions and scenes. And I'm like, I only been here for 3 episodes. What the fuck is happening? Like, I felt sadness. I felt like legitimate excitement or happiness when our main character had legit happiness when our main character would step in and do whatever Taru would do whatever he do for the little lady. Like I absolutely loved them too. Like undeniable cuteness, undeniable wholesomeness for a Yakuza show that does seem, and TCB NYC was right, does seem to have more to it than what is actually being shown. And it's so good. I want to know what happens to the wife. I'm invested in that. Seeing how she reacted to her mom and then seeing how he sought like help her get through that issue and her coming to like the realization of the fucking situation at hand with her mom. It was so good. It was so, all of it was so fucking good. Truly, truly a special show. Like it definitely made my main rotation.
Damn, 100%. You know, that's one of the ones that I meant to watch this week and I missed it, bro. I got it. I'm gonna get it next week though for sure. Because I was trying to
spoiling some of it, but
no, you good. Because I meant to put it down in the notes for last week, so I make sure to watch it. Bro, but it's in the notes this week. I'm watching it. We gonna talk about it.
You're gonna absolutely love it. It's so fucking good. Like it's
like almost like the Spy Family mixed with what was that, the house husband.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, but it's a lot less comedy, even though it still got some comedy in it. Still, like, just so.
It's more serious than comedy. Because I figured with that name, it's gonna be comedy, but you feel like it's got some serious tones to it then. Because I know you said you felt like sadness.
Yes.
So I mean, it's got levels to it.
Okay, here it is. It's a fucking beautiful ass layered cake. It's you got, oh man, fuck. How can I explain this? You got the Yakuza aspect, and the main character being basically the demon of this family. He's literally they call him the demon, not the Mic Check demon, but he's literally labeled as the demon of the Sakurai, and he's actually a demon. Then you got the family internals and how close they are, like as a legit family, and then you have the daughter of the boss. And then you have her family, which is the boss, the wife, and her. And then you got the situation to where it all comes together. And again, it's pieces of comedy in there between like sprinkles of it. It's not even, I'm not even gonna say it's a little bit of comedy, because there's enough comedy in there for you to laugh, for sure. But there's so much like underlying seriousness and fucking just beautiful life. I don't know how to. It's life lessons, I guess, but it ain't really life lessons, because this is for a little child. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You understand her situation, like you understand it, and you empathize with it, and then you understand his situation, and you fucking believe that he's not going to be the bumbling fool. You know what I'm saying? When you get thrown in a situation you're supposed to be uncomfortable with, he's not like that. He's fucking cool. He's about to be all the girls' husbandos. I can guarantee you that, by the way. He's just great. It's a great cast of characters. All of them so far are likable. The ones that I met, every single one of them, even the character that was in there for 2.5, maybe 3 minutes, I'm like, this guy's fucking dope. Like, it's possible, and maybe if I would have watched the uncle one first before I watched this one, I would have a different story about the uncle one. But after watching this one, and then going right into the uncle one, I'm like, man,
that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, you gotta have some characters that grab me, because this Yakuza shit grabbed me in episode 2, and I was ready to fucking almost cry. Like, was it 2 or 3? I think it might have been episode 3, but I digress. It was so fucking good. It was incredible.
So, I kind of got a bit of a little, not like really a topic I want to touch on, but kind of a topic, right? Based on something you said earlier. You said like you kind of been watching some anime and you've been forgetting you watched it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like My Isekai Life. And then you also mentioned how Call of Night really not hitting for you right now. Let's kind of evaluate our sleepers real quick. Let's kind of look at how what we think about them right now. So like
episodes in?
Yeah, I thought my episode for My Isekai Life this week, it was cool. It wasn't necessary. Like there was like, I guess the fighting moment, if you really want to dive into that, I thought that was cool, but it wasn't like obviously an amazing episode. Just had a good 5-second animation part. That was about it for the most part. And then our character obviously trying to hide that he was the one who did what he did, defeat the dragon or whatever. So how are we feeling about that so far, My Isekai Life?
Again, that episode was really good, and I do think the show is really good still. Like it's nothing about it I dislike. Looking at it, I forgot what the episode was about until you mentioned him killing the dragon. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, right? It like you saying the episode was good, but if you forgot you watched it, more or less, like, was it really that good?
Yeah. I do think so, yes. And the reason why, and I'm gonna say this because that comes out in 5 hours, which means that it drops on Monday.
Yeah, so you're gonna watch it on Monday right after we finish recording.
Exactly. So right after I finish editing I'm out of focus for the YouTube viewers. Right after I finish editing the podcast, I watch it. And then after that, I got literally 7 days before I'm watching, 8 days before I'm watching something else. So it's like, it's not. I don't think it's its fault. I think it's my fault because I also forgot I watched Vermeil and Gold.
Yeah.
Vermeil and Gold was another good fucking episode. Now that I just thought about, I'm looking at my Annie list. Make sure you follow me on Annie list at annilist.co/p/polobornfly. That fucking could have been episode of the week too, because it was such a good fucking fight between one of the presidents and our main character. It's a fucking fantastic show, but that comes out every Tuesday. So it's
okay. So timing is important, obviously, with these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think this season is spread into like a fucking sandwich. You got two shows that's out on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Classroom of the Elite and My Isekai Life. And then Tuesdays, you got Overlord, Vermeil and Gold, and that's it. But then the rest of the shit comes out like
Saturday, Friday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's like, man, it's tough to kind of keep track. And shout out to y'all that's doing week to week with us for a lot of these shows. I know a lot of y'all don't really do week to week. Y'all like to binge stuff, and that may be a better experience. But I enjoy. I grown while doing this podcast. I've grown to enjoy the week to week of it all.
Yeah,
when you got a lot of shit to watch.
So, all right, I feel like this episode of My Isekai Life was okay, right? Like I felt like it was. We got that fight in the beginning, and then it just went kind of chill. I really enjoyed this episode of Call of the Night this week, but you wasn't feeling it as much as I was.
Yeah,
now you kind of explained how you felt about it, right?
Right.
And I find it funny that I'm feeling your sleeper better than I'm feeling mine, but you seem like you like My Isekai Life a little bit better, but okay, that's cool. That's cool with me too.
They're about equal to me.
Call of the Night, this and I get it because there's not a lot of characters, so there's not too much depth on like how these interactions go, and they haven't, which like I said, some parts I can agree on with this. They haven't really delved too much into like extra emotions into this, right? Mm-hmm. Like our character, he wants to fall in love so he can become a vampire, but like he has no real, like we have no real reason why he would even want to fall in love. So it's almost like a baseless relationship. I mean, his motivation is to become a vampire, but like there's no, like that's not a regular motivation for love, right? Like that's not something we used to dealing with. And it's also unreasonable for the most part. But we kind of get this like interaction, right, where he has a friend that he completely almost forgot about, basically, right, because he doesn't really know the definition of a friend. And to me, sometimes I can agree with that because I have people that I have called friends for years, but then like for instance, like you are my brother, right? So like realistically, like people like, no, that's just your friend. But to me, like I'm not gonna call you my friend. You're my brother. Right. So I address the relationship different. But he's asking, like, do you just assume your friendship with people, right? Like, how do you know someone is a friend? And I thought that was a good question, because sometimes like we have these relationships with people and we talk to them every day. But does that mean that they're a friend? Monique, when I was in college, we could have talked every day. I don't hurt the way she handles her friendships. If we talked every day, she still might not have necessarily considered me a friend. It's just because, it depends on some kind of emotional connection and whatnot, right? So like I thought that in itself was just bringing in a little bit of the thought provoking, like where this episode or where this can go in terms of like maybe our main character does have more friends than he thought. Maybe these relationships can run deeper than he initially thought, and maybe it's going to be a struggle between him trying to choose between being a night person. Maybe he's going to beat his insomnia after he finds out maybe he has more than just one friend in his regular life,
I just think that's your intelligence speaking. I think that's I literally do. I don't think this show is that smart. It's just not. It's just a simple love story that is trying to develop between two characters that aren't at first really at love, going to find love. I don't think they're going to be or reach as deep as you're reaching, because what you're saying makes a hell of a lot of sense, and it'll make for a good ass show. Because I think you're an intelligent person who sees stuff.
I appreciate that. Sees
the deeper in the rice cake like thickness of shit. Like this shit is it's thin, man. It's
but what if
paper, bro.
But what if it does get that good though? You know, like, and I'm only saying this because like, and this is why I'm saying it. When we first started watching Summertime Rendering, right, and we can't necessarily compare everything to Summertime Rendering, but when we first started watching Summertime Rendering, and we got 5 episodes in, we was like, yo, I don't understand how anything can be this good, and then keep getting better, right?
Yeah.
Like we literally was like, how much more depth can it add? And week after week, it's getting more and more depth. Now, I'm not saying this had a Summertime Rendering kind of beginning
at all.
So I'm not going to say it's that. But I do think that, you
think that there's depth here.
That there can be depth is what I'm saying. I think that what we've seen in this episode was displayed shows that there can be character depth. Now, I don't like, because to me, it really feels like, to me, there's only one character with actual emotion in this show, and that's the vampire, right? But the 2 humans, for whatever reason, are extremely monotone, extremely like baseline, just like that's it. I would love to see more out of the actual humans instead of almost feeling like they're the vampires and the vampire is the actual human character who has emotion or an understanding of the world.
Okay. I think you're making up this depth. I think the depth for you is an imaginary thing that you want it to have. Because look at what we're watching, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Overlord has depth. Engaged Kiss is showing way more depth than even Call Her the Night. It's not as good. It's not good. I mean, I'm not okay. Engaged Kiss is not bad either, but it's not good. It's just not.
It's okay.
It's definitely okay. It's mad okay, but it has more depth. Actual depth is fucking Parallel World Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking depth. Made in Abyss, we already know the depth of that, so I'm not even gonna talk
they
about
say
that.
Literally depth. That's literally what they're doing.
Exactly. And then Summertime Rendering, like when you know, Montel Williams knows when an anime has depth. Like when you see an episode of a show, you know, oh, that's got a lot of depth there. This Yakuza one got a lot of depth. This fucking even a couple of cuckoos that's from last season has some depth here. Call of the Night, I think you're trying to manufacture the depth because
I'm trying to give it a chance, bro.
You're trying to give it a chance. And to be honest, man, I don't think it's going to have the depth you think. I think it's going to be just this romantic comedy that's going to slowly build to them falling in love with each other, not understand what love is, but they're going to slowly start to see it. And it's just going to be this kind of half-baked love story it's probably going to be fine. It's not going to be a bad show, but I don't see it being anything deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of hope
with it, but
I sincerely hope that when we get to the end of the season, you're wrong.
Hell yeah, dude. I would love to be wrong. I just don't feel like.
But I feel like, I mean, I kind of see a point, right?
Black Summoner has depth. Whew, fire.
Yeah, but I do kind of see a point, like where obviously I want this to have more depth, right? So I'm looking at where it's going. I'm looking at where it can be, right?
Because you're taking the emotions of him, just of his monologue, talking about how is she mad at me? Like that wasn't even like that was just basic human emotion. Is this what it's like to fight with somebody? But is that depth? I don't know.
But it does show a bit of character growth from our character because he's never had an argument with anybody, right?
Right.
So he doesn't even know what that's like. And if he has had an argument, he probably can't recall. Yeah, but we also got to see that, this character, like I said, he's had people in his life who may consider him friends and stuff like that. So to me, I'm thinking like, our character has more in his life than he knows or even can recall. So what's caused this insomnia, this depression that makes him want to just say, I want to be a person of the night. I don't want to be a regular daytime person anymore. That's what I'm seeing. So I get it. I entirely get it. But I more or less just kind of wanted to evaluate how we were looking at these shows again. Because, you know, like I said, I really was feeling this Call of the Night episode. To me, I thought it was a much better episode. And I mean, I'm also enthralled with the artwork of it, because I feel like
beautiful.
Every scene is almost wallpaper worthy when it comes to like them walking through the city and shit. Like, God damn,
that's where all the depth went.
The yellows and the purples and shit. So much depth there.
You're absolutely right. It's a beautiful fucking show, and the sound is great. It's just the characters are fucking boring, and I think you hit the nail right on the head with this one. The vampire is the most interesting and intriguing character with the most depth. Funny enough, and I don't know. I think it has. It still can get better though. You know, I'm not gonna say it's not. I think it still can get better. You know what I'm also disappointed by. I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, but that the man I hired is recently is Mysterious.
Really?
That shit is Duke of Death and is made, but not Duke of Death and is made. It's almost the exact same fucking thing, but not even close. If that doesn't make any sense. Wait, let me back up. So
he said it's the same thing, but not even close.
Yeah, exactly. So
let me give a quick synopsis of what I think you mean.
Please, yes.
I think you mean they going for the same thing, but it's a flat tire.
Yes, yes. Because you don't have the situation to where he can't touch the maid, like the Duke can't, like he can't touch anything because it'll die. And then you don't have this maid that's, I mean, the maid is mysterious, but you could tell, like you could see the through line of the story. Fucking like you could just see where they got the inspiration from, I guess. Even if they didn't, it's just Duke of Death and his maid came out first. So
it just feel like Coffee with like that's been left out too long.
Yes, because is she mysterious? Not really, but that's the point.
But it's in the name.
But that's the point. The point is her actually not being mysterious, but the master of the house making her out to be mysterious, which can be interesting, and the way they interact is adorable and it's cutesy or whatever. But I don't see it being as good as Duke of Death, not even close. So maybe I'll let it stack up and watch that later.
I got two things to say. One, are those transitioning shades?
No.
Because I'm like, why Polo got these glasses on? They look like they turning into sunglasses, like they block your intent a little bit.
They just got the the stigmatism protection on them, whatever.
I got you. And my second thing,
what's up?
My second thing is for everybody who's listening. You know, y'all all pick sleepers, you know, before you start the season. So I'm just asking, you know, go ahead and drop some tweets. Let us know how you evaluate your sleeper for the season. Let us know if you think your sleeper is actually good. If you wish you had picked something else, but you know, we sticking with them. Yep, we sticking with them. We absolutely sticking with them. All right, look, I know we don't want to go into spoilers too much, but can we talk a little bit about Made in Abyss? Man, it's so good. I know y'all. I hope y'all don't get tired of it, but we gush over Made in Abyss a little bit. Yes. Y'all know how we feel about it. This episode, and I love how like it doesn't necessarily need to be action oriented in this anime for us to kind of see and just feel things, you know, because there's constant presence in terms of like how things affect our main characters and whatnot, right? The thing what happened with Mania, I was salty. I was like, yo. And then what happens immediately after that, we feel like, okay, imagine if she had took that piece of paper, right? Because there was value assigned to the paper. That, you know, she knows that her mother may have drawn that page. If she had taken that piece of paper because she values it so highly, what would have happened? Well, no, it wouldn't have been what she valued it as. It would have been what the vendor valued it as. But I don't think that's how they explain value, right? That's exactly how they explained it. Because it's what Minya meant to her
not to the person who grabbed her. You know what I'm saying? The person that grabbed her, Mania just was a fucking stuffed animal. So that's why he just did that. If she would have grabbed the paper from the vendor said, this is a piece of paper that I own. The paper didn't mean that much. She may have would have lost a couple of fingers. But to her, if she would have had that paper and the vendor took it from her, which obviously we know that the paper means fucking the world to her because it's from her mom. Right. That fucking vendor would have been ripped to fucking shreds.
Obviously. Yeah. But like I think that concept is actually kind of mad cool because fucking it's like
cool as shit.
Like these people, like if we even think about like when they talked about, because they said something about, in like a little bit of a spoiler alert, they said that they gave up the original bodies to have these forms, right? Like when they became part of this land, like what is like, was that them assigning value to their actual ambitions? Because they said they took on forms that follow their desires, and I'm like, yo, like these people, they fit, and they, like they said it in this, they fit the look when they talked about like the one who wants to like cut into people and stuff like that. But obviously you just can't do it because, you know, value reasons and whatnot. But it's still like the way that this is put together, the way they do this is always just so great for me. Made in Abyss, they do this so well when it comes to like just putting emphasis on things that we aren't prepared to even know that's going to be emphasized, you know? Yeah.
And just the rules of the Abyss is fucking out of this world, literally and figuratively. It's I don't want to get any more into it because that's going into the spoiler territory, but it's
one more thing before you're done. You don't mind that we kind of get introduced to newer rules as we go into different depths and layers of the Abyss? Because I think that's so cool.
Yeah, there's no way I wouldn't. Yeah, of course I don't mind that because
it's like every layer has its own.
They set that rule up from the episode 1 of the show when they discussed what the Abyss is. Like they said nobody knows what the fuck this depth is. Like this, it's unthinkable, right? Yeah. And then when you're going through season 1 and you're going through her, her mom shit, right? It's even more so crazy.
And well, I guess what I'm saying is like also I love how like the rules kind of change a little bit. Like you go down, let's say you go down a little bit, you go up, your curses, you just get a little sick. Go down a little bit more, you go back up. The curses, you start to hallucinate a little bit. Go down a little bit more, you go back up, and the curse is like, okay, now you bleeding from every orifice, and it's like,
to be fair, it's not or, it's an and.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not or.
I'm clarifying it for them. So it's an and thing. So everything Tell said, you get those and on top of it. It's awful. Yeah. It's awful. It's a great show. It's an unbelievable show.
Let's see.
Before we go into get to know my check waifu, I do have to say this. Everybody needs to watch a Parallel World Pharmacy or whatever. Let me get the fucking title right. Parallel World. I've been getting the title right this whole time. Parallel World Pharmacy.
I agree. Everybody watch that, and everybody watch Ruby.
I still ain't even touched it.
I know you didn't, because your Annie list don't say you touched it.
Yeah, true. Let's get to know my check waifu. This is a part of the podcast where one of us rolls a random number generator associated. Wait, how I go? You get to know us by a random question that we read. All right. Tell turn to read the question. My turn to roll a random number generator. 16 questions. Number 14.
You can only choose one superpower. Which one do you take?
We answered that before a user question, but if I had one to take, it'd probably be flight.
Flight?
Yeah, I want to be able to fly wherever I want.
That's dope.
But not no like bitch flight. I want like Superman.
Like fast you want to be able to fly as fast as speed of light.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
We had this conversation with Monique. Monique was like, she gonna choose super speed and she gonna rob every bank. I'm like, babe, just bring the money home. Deposit it right into our account.
Right.
Let me see. I want invulnerability. Right? I don't really need like super strength or anything like that. I kind of just want invulnerability. I want like if someone try and cut me, the knife, sword, scalpel breaks, and I just want to be tough. I want to be able to jump into a volcano, look around, and be like, all right, I'm gonna swim back up to the surface now.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, okay. I see that. At first, I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Invulnerable. Why don't you get a power so you just avoid being hit, period? But then again, if you want to do shit like swim in a volcano.
Or anything though, right? And I mean, when I say invulnerability, I also mean like if I go in the ocean, like I don't have to worry about breathing, you know? Or if I go into space, I can just go in space and be like, oh, this is kind of dope. I like being on the moon.
The problem with that, though, is you got to take a rocket there still, motherfucker. I can fly.
Yeah, you right, though. But what you going to do? You going to just fly up there and just be like, hold up, I can't breathe. Let me go back to Earth to get my spacesuit because I can't fucking breathe. You going to fly in the bottom of a volcano, Polo?
And I guess that's the problem with that question because like you only get one.
Right, that's the thing. And I'm cool with getting one. I just, if I can be invulnerable. Now, I do want to die when I hit a certain age. I don't want to live forever.
That was my next question.
Nope. But I want to die at like 100. But in the meantime, I want to be able to walk through I want to get struck by lightning and be like, oh, that didn't do nothing.
I feel that. Okay. Go ahead and chill in that tornado and just
let it throw me around. Just wherever I land. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I just flew to another state.
So
Polo had to get up and fly himself. I just jumped into a tornado.
So with your invulnerability, do you not feel pain then? Is that the...
I mean, either way, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm invulnerable and I feel the pain, I guess, like realistically, it's only skin deep, Because if I'm invulnerable to where it can't penetrate my skin, it only touches the outside of my skin, and that's all that has any kind of pain.
I'm not gonna hold you. I fucking hate paper cuts though. That's the only time I cry like a little bitch if I get a paper cut.
But eventually though, let's be real though. If you are invulnerable to actually being hurt, eventually you're gonna be like, okay, well, it's all mental at this point.
Or a hangnail, bro. Ooh.
I got a hangnail, yeah, it ain't beautiful. A hangnail, hanging from my cuticle.
I can't do it. Cry like a little something.
Nah, bro. Apollo had a hangnail and I had to tear it off, and he was like,
"That ain't it." I think I got one right now, actually. Yeah, it's there.
I was like, first of all, boy, you are. I think he was like 3 at the time. I was like, you are a toddler. How do you have unmoisturized hands and a hangnail? How does that happen? I thought y'all stayed moisturized until you hit 5.
Let's get to this break. When we come back, we're gonna spoil Summertime Rendering, Overlord 4, and Classroom of the Elite Season 2. Y'all gonna like this break song. Make sure you rate Mic Check Waifu wherever you listen. So if you listen on Apple Podcasts, rate us there. Spotify, give us 5 stars. Amazon Podcasts, fucking anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can rate stuff, rate us. We'll appreciate that. We'll be right back after these.
Don't you start tripping up on me. Taste that pain and it all so sweet. Don't you stop giving up on me. Ain't no shame, back it up on me. Back it up. say over till we say it's over. Yeah, bring it right here. Ain't gotta tell you where I came, bring it right here. No, you came for the same game right here. Off top, no games, bring it right here. Don't you start tripping up on me. Taste that pain and it all so sweet. Don't you stop it up on me. Ain't no shame, back it up on me. Back it up.
How we get here, hella finer. You can stay just for the night, though. Take a shot straight from the bottom. Here today, you're gone tomorrow. How we get here, hella finer. You can stay just for the night, though. Take a shot straight from the bottom. Here today, you're gone tomorrow.
And welcome back to my Check Waifu. As always, make sure you check out lootcomplex.com. Use the offer code waifu to save on your entire cart. Follow us on Twitter at my Check Waifu. We are about to spoil summertime rendering. What a fucking brilliant episode. Let's get the episode name in there. Episode 14.
Yep.
Yes.
It wasn't 15. I thought it was 15.
It was 15. Yeah, my analyst didn't update. Rip. Okay. Yeah, episode 15 of Summertime Rendering. Shit was phenomenal, man. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Yeah. I said this on Twitter. When I think of 10 out of 10 anime, it's not a lot of them. But god damn it, Summertime Rendering right now is a fucking 10 out of 10. Has not missed a single episode.
Not 1 week missed.
And I love, and we said this before, I love how things in the past get more context as we go on. And then they just present us with new shit that be like, don't forget this anime is amazing. It's like they telling us every week, this anime is amazing, bro. Don't keep watching. Just keep staying tuned in.
Was that 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago where we found out Ushio can transfer the memories from a loop?
Last week.
And with that,
she could share the memories. Now we know she can transfer them. Yeah, go ahead.
Our crew fucking the plan popped the fuck off after we came back from him being sniped in the fucking face. Like when we came back, I'm like, oh shit, Shinpei, we did exactly what we thought. He was gonna figure this shit out. Like, okay, they understand this loop situation, and he broke that shit down beautifully with the whole. Oh my god, he broke it down so well with the whole time thing, and like the rocks falling behind him, and it was like he fucking perfectly gauged. He was on his fucking Leo shit. Like it was so good, so thoughtful with how he figured that shit out.
And what made it better is like I love how they did the plan, right? Like they didn't necessarily demonstrate the plan to us.
Right.
It started off with him in the kitchen making a sandwich. He like, oh no, what happened? And then he kind of get a little recollection of him getting shot. He's like, oh.
No, he didn't get the recollection.
Well, yeah, because they showed us like the little quick scene, but then he goes back and says, you know, this had to happen. Talked about how it was a bad idea to have Nezu so far away. They found out that it couldn't have been a sniper. it couldn't have been a shadow gun because the shadow gun can only go 50. The bullet can only go 50 meters if it's a clone bullet, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, we getting details. The shadow clone stuff, like not the actual shadows, can only go 50 meters from the main shadow before it's no longer a real thing. So now we know that there's actual range to this. And then they kind of like when they start to execute the plan, it was like beautiful because like we see Shide and Hein pull up with like a little gang of shadow people, and it's just Shinpei standing up front like, yo, what's up? And as soon as like they kind of get the battle going, and we see him like essentially more or less disappear because Ushio's running away with him, I'm just like, yo, it's about to get, but I didn't think it was about to get this active, like how active this episode got. Like this was way more than I expected in terms of like action for this anime. Yeah. But they did it so well. It was like they didn't skip a beat. Like everything felt properly animated, and the pacing was just on point. So as soon as it started, it just kept going until that was the end.
What it was for me, it was, oh my God, it was a beyond tip of the scale. It was an unbelievable episode because of the contrast between the episode prior to this one. Like the contrast between those two, where it was fucking, you thought just nothing but despair. Like absolutely despair when it came to them figuring out that, you know, killing Shinpei faster would speed up the loop finale, basically. We realized that he only had one more loop after he was sniped. Learning that also gave us a sense of dread. So we know during this episode that they had to win or else it was it. That was it. That was over. When he got shot in that gym, I'm like,
them 3 shots,
man. It was like abdomen, lung, chest, and I'm like, yep, it's just fucking over. It's fucking over. And I'm like, wait, why is he still talking and doing all this moving and jumping around and shit? And he pulled up the shirt and it was a bulletproof vest. I'm like, this motherfucker, man, incredible show.
We also found out that the shadows are weak to fire. Normal shadows. Except for Shide, because I mean, while it slowed him down, it could not kill him. But we know what I also loved about it? The voice acting for Shide that went into the like robotic, like the rendering was off because of the shadow, the fire was messing with him.
Yep.
Amazing. But on top of that, how like the shadows get out of that, how Hein, she just like breaks and just says, forget all this. She scans the air in the gymnasium and takes it all out, just deletes all the oxygen. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it was fucking incredible, man. It's so, what it does is it gives me so much interest into what the shadows are. Well, we kind of know that she's a god or whatever, but like I want to go, and I think it will. Obviously, I'm not worried about it not explaining this,
right?
It seems to always do, but I want more depth into the shadows' origin, right? Like how they were created, what brought them to this island, or what were they the island itself? Like there's just so much stuff that I think about with this show that I can't wrap my head around everything that goes on in the show because it's just that special. There's shit that I'm thinking about that's over there, but when I think about something over there, something over here pops up and I'm like, fuck, but what about this? What about that? So what you think about that part where Shiori popped up, which is essentially the consciousness of Shiori actually showing up with the eye change and everything like that? Just think that was just
I feel like the shadows really have like the mentality of the person, right? Because if you copy everything that's there, you know, the only thing that we don't know that can really be copied is like the spirit or soul or something. We don't know if that's even a thing that can be manifested in that. We don't know how that works, right? The consciousness of an actual person. But if all the memories, all the feelings and stuff were copied, that probably was really how, you know, the shadow or the Shiori felt, you know. She knows that.
You said,
what's up?
You said we don't know if they can copy the soul of the person.
Yeah, because like, and this is I guess getting spiritual, because like, if there is a soul for a person, right? How do we know if that's actually the soul, right? That's like if I said, yes, Polo, I'm gonna take your brain out of your body and put it into another body.
The answer is yes.
Now I know that's your brain. I know, but it's the same thing with like if you go into a coma, right? If you go into a coma, in 30 years, you wake up and is that still you?
Ushio is living proof that you can copy the soul of the person that they're copying. It's not just consciousness. It's not just memories. It's Ushio. She is the defective soul that is the epitome of what exactly you're talking about. It's her.
But how? Because how can she be that when at one point there was two of them? They were both together. She can't be both of them.
She can be. That's why she has the ability to detach the control of mother to the other shadows, i.e. what they're about to do to Mio. Now that they captured Mio. She's about to detach mother from Mio, which means that it's going to be two Mios with the same, and they even talked about this with Mio a few times, because Mio, the shadow, still has that uncontrollable love for Shinpei, and like you can sense it within her lack of a better term, spirit, because it's just a part of her. It's not just copy memories. It's not just copy conscience. I think it's all of that. The thing is, they just move, and this is about to sound cliche as fuck, but they just move different.
So
literally,
this gonna become extremely philosophical here, real quick, right? Because and this is why I say this. They said when we got to first see Mio or Ushio and Ushio together, right? They said that she doesn't necessarily have the same memories. Like what happens with one Ushio's memories, the other Ushio doesn't necessarily remember, you know, unless it's already explained to her, right? So they're not philosophically, they're not the same person. Like they are the same person in terms of like their love and intention. But let's say you take one Mio or Ushio and put it on the other side of the world, and take the other Ushio and put it on the other side of the world, and they're going to have similar concepts right now, but in 10 years, are they going to be the same person? No, not even close.
Tell me what makes them different.
So this is what I'm saying is what makes them different. And I'm only saying this because this is a current experience I have. My current manager at my job, right? She has a fiance. He is in a coma for 3 months, woke up. His memory has no memories of anyone he's ever loved, right? So that person, he remembers, he didn't really even his own name. That person, yes, is the same person, but they don't have any memory recollection of who they were before. So if they act completely different,
your example is mute.
No, I'm not saying that he's a different person, right? Like, because obviously his soul is still there, but cognitively, that he could literally change into an entirely different person and never be the person you ever knew again. That's what I'm saying is like these people, they have the capacity to change. And I know, like I said, that's why I'm saying this is getting like philosophical, because the Ushio that we know, yes, she loves Shinpei, but she has the capacity to change in a way that would be relative to what our regular Ushio would be. But we have no way of verifying that both Ushios would grow parallel, you know, in the exact same way if they were both there.
You're talking about the growth of these individual people, right? Doesn't change the fact that Ushio is still Ushio. If you put Ushio in Japan and Ushio in America, they grow up with two different cultures. Guess what? They're still Ushio. It doesn't delete the fact that she's not Ushio. So
which one has the soul? Which one is? They both share the same souls. What you saying?
No, because what I think you're getting confused is if she was controlled by mother, guess what she would be a part of? she'll be part of a hive mind, right? She will be part of that hive mind that Mio is, that everybody that they copied, she will be a part of that. She isn't.
I agree with that.
She is.
So
she's Ushio.
So what I'm saying is when they do the same thing to Mio, right? Because Mio's currently connected to the hive mind. Does Mio automatically just say, "Oh, now we share the same soul"? I'm Mio.
But they both are Mio souls. Yes, because what Summertime Rendering does is it's a true copy of that one thing, except for what's the one thing they talk about with inanimate objects? It's an exact. They say that every time. It's an exact copy of that inanimate object. It just doesn't. It just has a limited ammo. I think is what the difference is, right? Because the only thing different between these copies is they move different. Either you're a part of the hive mind, and you're just a fucking a Reaper from Mass Effect, or who your copy is, just a copy of that person, but you just move different. So like regardless of how if you say you were absolutely right about if you separate them, they grow up differently and they have different personalities at some point because it just grew up differently. That doesn't change the fact that they're still the same person. That person is that person regardless of whatever happens on the other side of the world. They're just perfect copies that happens to be growing up different, like fucking twins. Just think of it like that. You can think of it like that. One twin can go into the ground, the other twin can't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is the twins essentially both, you would view them as having two different souls.
I guess
that's what I'm saying.
Twin would be
they got two different souls, and that's what Hitler and all I'm trying to figure out, blah, blah, blah. But they have two different souls. It's not that they split one entity.
That was a bad example because again, what Summertime Rendering is copies.
It's supposed to be a complete copy,
an exact copy of whatever they're copying.
That's what's confusing is that like if you make a copy, right? Like if I make a copy of a photo, right? Let's say I copy a photo on my computer right now. Or let's say I go into Photoshop, make a wallpaper, and then I go to copy and save that wallpaper a second time. It's going to say that same wallpaper, but like wallpaper 1 instead of the original same exact thing, right? So it's the same visually, but it's not the same file.
It's the same thing. It's still that picture though, right?
Yeah, but it's not the same file. You get what I'm saying, bro?
I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying.
It's like a different save file in the video game even, it's just... You got a backup,
right?
But it's not the exact same. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, with the way they move in this show, they made it pertinent to for you to understand that it's an exact copy. They explained it multiple times with the objects. They explained it between the two Ushios, and how like when she got her memory back, that's when she became the Ushio of the Ushio we know. Like when she got her memory back after I think the third loop or some shit like that, whatever it was.
So that would mean that the Ushio that was just a copy is gone then, right? She had to disappear.
No, she still. That's the Ushio. That's the copy is the Ushio we got now.
But she got her memories back. So what you're saying is like once she got her memories back, she is the original Ushio now.
She's still a copy, but she's Ushio 1, like you said with your wallpaper. But guess what? The wallpaper's still the same. It's just wallpaper 1 versus wallpaper. So it's a very convoluted way of saying it's the same goddamn thing.
I know I'm saying it's the same, but it ain't the same is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but which brings me to the point that what's going to happen with this extra meal? I think they're going to get mad creative with how they finish off this festival.
Yeah, you know what disappoints me about this anime?
It's coming to an end soon.
Yeah.
That's the only disappointment. Because now I need we got Mio's about to be a part of the crew with Mio. And I guess hopefully that answers the question that we're having right now.
Right.
And maybe we'll be able to see okay, with the two Mios both detached, Mio being OG Mio, and then the Mio detached from Mother's hive mind.
You gotta go ahead.
Does that make the two Mios just be the exact same thing? They both love Shinpei. They both are shy and bashful and whatever. They both fucking whatever. But the Mio 1 can slide in the ground as a shadow.
Right.
So I guess we'll figure that out.
We gonna see come soon. I mean, we ain't got that many.
Sad, man. It's sad that it's about to end.
But what I was about to say is,
time out. We got 10 episodes left, bro.
But that's not enough. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
It's 10 episodes left, and they already about to be at like the final showdown.
But it don't feel like we really. It feel like we about to be at the final showdown, but it don't feel like we really about to be at the final showdown.
Yep. Because and it's fucking crazy because what you just said don't make sense, but it makes a whole lot of fucking sense. Because it don't feel like we're about to be at it feels like we're about to be at the final showdown, but it don't. But like you don't feel like that.
Do it feel like we watched 15 episodes of this already? Because to me, I'm gonna be real. I feel like we only watched 8 episodes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I watched 25 already.
Really?
But yeah, it feels like I watched a lot, but I can't.
Because you download and every time you look at it, you just like, man, everything that happened.
Exactly, and it's just like it stays with me. I.e., different than what my Isekai life is or the earlier shows throughout the week. It stays with me all week until I watch it again. Like I pick up on whatever happened last week. If something small, something minute happens, I pick up on it like at a drop of a dime because I just remember it so vividly in my head because it's just that enthralling. I can't stop.
You know what I think is enthralling?
What?
You gotta post this whole talk about summertime rendering as a separate clip, bro.
I can't.
It deserves its own clip, man. This is a good conversation.
Speaking of own clip, let's move on to Overlord 4.
You mean because Momonga was about to drop his own clip on everybody,
bruh?
So the beginning of the episode, we get him talking with Albedo and basically talking about how this is gonna be her first time heading out by herself, and he's like gushing over her about how
I love that.
You gotta be careful, you gotta be safe, you know, when you head out to other places, you know, do you have a teleportation spell? Do you have a teleportation device just in case someone tries to block the spell? He's like a dad, right? He's acting like a dad. To a party. That's like, all right, my baby is heading out. And then he's like, your immune system, I know you're immune to every known disease, but what if there's an unknown disease that affects you? You know, he's like, you know, she got a world level artifact on her like that. It explained to us the world level artifact that she just was carrying around, and that's to prevent anything from obviously mind controlling her. I'm like, oh, fuck, it counters any other world level item. Like, god damn, they went to the fucking depths of the vault to get her something to protect her. Right. And she like just loving that he's spilling all this about her. Yeah. Loving it. She is in love. Because you think about it, right? I mean, you gotta think Momonga knows, like, if she gets mind control, ain't nobody killing her because her defense levels is fucking through the fucking roof. Like I've talked about in previous weeks, she's unbelievably tank. She's literally the tank of Nazarick. So like, if she gets fucking mind controlled, ain't nothing nobody can do in this entire world that can kill her. Nothing. Not Momonga. Well, he got pay to win items, so maybe he still could instant kill. Yeah, or something. She's immune to that, but there you go. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? But I'm glad that they showed us that part, because to get that little insight into what happened when she left, instead of her just being there and all that shit happening, was big for me. I enjoyed that. Now we got to see that king being absolutely horrified. The king? What's his name? The one who looked like a off-brand Gilgamesh. Oh, Jerknif. Oh, the emperor. Yeah. Yeah. He absolutely shook down to his core. Bro, I was shook too because I wasn't expecting him to say him, but I think that's excuse me. I think that's what's his face? That's not actually Ainz. That's Pandora. Yeah. Because they would explain a different outfit too. But regardless of what it is, Pandora's about to go out there do massive work.
Because Pandora's actor is still 80% of Momonga's power. So it's like he's about to destroy the warrior king. What's interesting is that how, because like obviously we can tell that's Pandora's actor, because Pandora's actor wasn't talking like Momonga would. I think Momonga would really be sincere about being happy to see the Emperor, because he has no idea of the Emperor's like sly plans like Demiurge knows. So it's like, when you think about that situation, like Pandora's actor has an idea because he obviously talks to Demiurge, and
he won't trust the humans as much as Momonga will.
Exactly. So it's like, it's interesting to see what's gonna be the fall off from that. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if that's Pandora's actor. I just got a weird tickling in my.
But here's the thing: is like you said, Pandora's actor is 80% of Momonga's power, of Ain's power, right? So if he fights the strongest warrior in the land, right? They literally said it's the strongest warrior in the land. He's like a troll, and he one-shots him. They're gonna be like, okay. So what do we do in this scenario? Because he's 80% of his power.
Yep.
Which is still a lot of power, obviously, because he has the highest mana pool, as we know, in the existence of this world, right?
Yep.
So
it's literally off the charts.
Right. So what is there in terms of competition if he has to fight somebody?
And then I guess that's why we would have to go to the slain theocracy, because they're like the only people that may have something that can bat eyes, but not even.
And was that the Godkin that they were talking about?
Yeah, yep. And we know they ain't got shit on them. I think they're like level 50 or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and they were horrified still, or at least the one who saw what he did, was horrified of what.
Oh, none of the Godkin saw.
Yeah, no, I'm not the Godkin, but who was it? It was one of the people who saw him kill the 130,000 people or something like that instantly. Yeah. Was horrified. Like, Godkin can't do nothing to that.
True.
Because he's basically at that point, if you can just say, I'm claiming 130 lives right now, 130,000 lives right now.
What the fuck is a Godkin? So we got to be careful though, because the Godkin is the one that did what they did to Shalltear. So it was a party of Godkin. Even though Shalltear did injure one, almost kill him.
But they could not kill Shalltear, was the thing. Regardless of what they could do, right? They could mind control her.
Just to stop her. And it wasn't even a full mind control. You're right.
Right, they could not kill her. So it's like, and Ainz was still able to stop her, right? Was still able to get her back. Now, that just goes to show that regardless of whatever the Godkin can do, it's like,
they ain't fucking with my clique.
If we all pull up, it's done. It's over with.
Which we know is probably going to happen via the trailer.
And we don't even need like Ainz to be there. Just send Shalltear, send Demiurge, send Calcatus, just send the goons in, and that's it. It's done.
What's funny is that there was I forgot where I saw this, so forgive me. But there was a meme that going around that says something that the most recent episode of Overlord 4 taught me is that humanity is fucked. Because you think about the conversation that they had at the Slain Theocracy with all the bishops, or I think they're bishops, sitting around the table, and they're just discussing like, okay, we know this, we know this, we know this, we know this, but what about this? Can this beat them? Can this beat them? Can this beat them? And just everything that they said was literally nothing compared to what Ainz did at that war, at that fight. It was literally nothing. They talk about how strong Death Knights are. They're terrified of the Death Knights, and he has 60,000 of them just walking around. Like it was just so much. That's what I love about.
And
the
they
show.
were saying not even their strongest man can compete against a Death Knight, right? Like no ordinary man's gonna compete against a Death Knight, and he's got, like you said, 60,000 of them walking around.
And that's what's so fucking contrasted about this show is because they have it so segmented. Like the humans have no idea what Ainz is actually capable of, but the viewer do. And because we do, as they're talking, we just sit there fucking laughing our asses off. And that's what the comedy of Overlord is. It's not, you know, silly moments how they have with Albedo and Mari and all them all the time. It's the scenarios that these humans think they can do anything against.
I have no idea. But the thing is like the humans that have seen, right? They like I said, the Jerkneef dude, whatever. He's like, ain't nothing we can do. He like, let me know if you see anything.
Into the end of this episode, he's like, "Come on, Warrior King!" Like he was rooting for him in his monologue.
You're right. Give me any possible way you think we can even scratch my guy.
Right.
and he's just like, cause I don't see it.
Unbelievable, bro. Like. Dude,
and when he was talking about the backlash of the magic too,
yes,
was like we asked him to cast magic. I didn't know it was gonna be that.
My thought is like, I just keep thinking about the small shit that happens, right? Like the shit where the Slain pull up and they're at the Emperor's spot and they about to do this secret talk. The secret talk is about to be written down. It ain't even about to be discussed out loud, period. For them to find out that Ainz is there, i.e. probably Pandora's actor, like we can probably assume that that's Pandora's actor, and just be fucking fooled. Like it just be, it just fucks up the entire Emperor's plans to like meet these quote unquote allies to go against Ainz, and it just fucking shuts down everything that he's trying to do. It's fucking incredible, man. It's incredible. Right. Unbelievable show. Overlord keeps getting better. I don't know how it does it. 4 seasons later, which is very hard to do, it's continuing to be great. Let's move on. Last but certainly not least.
So my least favorite anime of the season, Classroom of the Elite. I'm just joking.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. We had a discussion last week that was off the air about Classroom of the Elite, and I talked about how I can understand how people don't like Classroom of the Elite. I still don't understand it because it's not how I think, but I get why people would not like it, and it's because the only redeeming quality of the show, character-wise, is Ayano Koji. And the reason why I like it so much is because I don't give a fuck about no other characters. I just want to see this demon work. But what pisses me off is when other characters pop up, because I know they ain't got shit on Ayano Koji. Like from moment 1, episode 1, season 1, I knew they don't have shit on Ayano Koji. So for them to, you know, be this like the arrogant girl that's like his friend, his only like friend that understands who he is. What's her name?
Susan. Yeah.
I can't stand her. She's fucking useless, pointless, a waste of my fucking time. I can't stand her, period. And then you got the Kakaru dude from Class C. He's actually annoying because he's a cocky son of a bitch. His voice actor is dope as fuck, by the way. But
he is also like I feel like he's a good contrast to it because he's never been slacking. He's never been caught slacking.
Yeah.
So I do like that, and that's kind of what gave me a little bit more interest in this episode, because I was like, somebody gonna figure some extra stuff out. Ayano Koji, he did his thing. He a goat fucking for his plan he set up. That was dope. And even how the beginning of the episode went, I was like, man, bro, he gonna step in anytime this year.
He's like, nah, I know what I'm doing. And then just the way the plans he execute just come through. Like he knew that. Oh my God, that's what the show does so well. It does small shit that you can miss easily, like him meeting up with the teacher to buy the SIM card. We ain't know what the fuck that was. We know it was gonna be some bullshit. We didn't know what it was until the plan was laid out. But like right. they do this shit since season 1, where they would do very small things that Ayano Koji pays attention to that nobody would ever think of until they unveil it. Until he unveils it via his inner monologue, and that's what Again, that's what Classroom of the Elite is. It's very, very special in that sense because he needs to fucking take down this school. I don't know what he's doing. I think that's his plan. I don't know if that's his plan. I feel like this school is up to some bullshit.
He got daddy issues is what it is.
You think so?
100%. He got daddy issues, so that's why he's trying to take the school down. But here's the thing.
I don't think he care enough.
What's up?
I don't think he cared. I think this shit is just fun to him. I think he on his Cognitive shit.
I don't think it's fun to him. I think he literally just doing it to like because he's not trying to be bothered, right? Right? Like I think that like he has a goal, and part of his goal eventually, because like I think we talked about this before, part of his goal is going to be because he don't want to be at this school. But like you said, and I don't know if we said this on air or not when we was recording, but like Polo said, is that it's not just the school, it's the actual world, right? Like it's not just what's happening in the school because it's the classroom of the elite, but who are the elite outside the classroom?
Yep.
So it's like we know that his dad is clearly probably one of the elites and is probably one of the people running this school. And Ayana Koji don't want no parts of it. He's trying to get expelled. We know he want to get expelled, but he playing the game.
Yeah, see, I can't, and maybe you remember it better because you watched it recently. I didn't watch season 1 recently, so I can't remember exactly every detail of it. I only remember bits and pieces from what I'm watching this season. I don't. Is he trying to get expelled? Like, so he doesn't have to be a part of this elite? He
said he didn't want to be in the school, and he said in one of the conversations in the first season that he wanted to, be expelled from the school, basically. But they won't just expel him because they know what he's capable of, basically.
Right. I thought, did it change when he met Suzune?
I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I know that
because I thought her story has something to do with it.
Yeah, when they talked about him,
protect her or some shit.
Yeah, because he said something about being expelled, and then basically saying like, basically said his father won't just let him get expelled. Like, basically his father said that his goal is going to be for him to get expelled, but the dad's goal is to try and keep him from doing that and to, keep him being in the school.
Interesting.
So Ayana Koji's goal was to not be there. That's why he was in Class D and just trying to chill and not do shit because he was gonna get expelled.
I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna have to do some research. My overlord kind of Classroom of the Elite to figure out exactly what's going on there. Because again, I haven't watched season 1 in years. It's probably been about 4 years. So,
but I wish this is a good episode for me.
Did.
You said what?
I said I wish they did a recap like Ren's Girlfriend did.
Yeah, but this was a good episode of Classroom of the Elite, bro.
It was a great episode.
It was like. I felt I'm not gonna say I felt a lot, but like the beginning of the episode was pretty heavy. Like I don't like bullies. So to see that, and I was kind of like thinking in my head like, damn, Ayana Koji, when you gonna walk up? When you gonna say something? You gonna say anything? But he got the video footage, and obviously he gonna use that as bribe material. But when is he gonna use it? Like he got the plans. He gonna do what he need. But also like he didn't even record it on his phone, did he?
No, it was still his phone at that time.
Okay. But regardless, dude is clever. Yeah, he's smart. We can't take that from him.
I love the way he analyzes people. And he does it through his inner monologue. He's like, okay, this guy might be one guy that might have something going for him when it comes to like this shit. He was talking about Kaikeru, which is Class C's like president dude, and also a fellow schemer who's crushing on Suzune. Which again, I don't know why Suzune just sucks. She's just the shittiest character in the show, but she's like also the other main, and she's just awful. I hate her. I can't stand her. And now, if I remember correctly, I couldn't stand her in season 1 either. Just fucking.
Yeah, I feel like she just didn't do anything. Like Ayana Koji did everything, and she was just in the place. He just used her as like she's actually the puppet master, but he's really the puppet master,
Right. Let people think that she is. Yeah, I remember. She's fucking useless.
And then he knew they were trying to figure out the phone call thing, right? So it puts him in a position where he almost gets exposed, but it's not even that far exposed, right? And as soon as someone says, like, who came up with this plan? Was it Suzune or Horikita? And he's like, who else would have did it? Come on, bro. We can see through you. We see through you. We know. Like, obviously we know because we watching, but come on, bro. We see through you. We see those eyes. Those dead cold eyes.
It's so much more to it that's gonna get that's gonna swim in a light, Kid Cudi, for lack of a better word. Because it's like I'm telling you, it's gonna shock the world with how good this shit is gonna end up being. Hopefully. I don't know it yet. I'm just
Polo done already read it. He got the spoilers.
I don't. I just feel like the depth in the shows goes deeper than skin, bro.
You know what I think? I think that you are just an intelligent guy and you just see the depth in this show when it's really not there.
But no, it's actually there. That's the difference between Kiss of the Night and this, because Kiss of the Night is just fucking just
He mixed it two anime. He mixed an Engaged Kiss and Call of the Night.
Oh. Oh, it's 1:30. I'm tired. All right. That's a wrap.
All right.
Great episode.
All right. We just finished talking about Classroom of the Elite and how good this actual episode was. Overlord season 4 obviously hitting us with some greatness. Keep hitting us with it. We love when it gets political, but this episode was real good. Next week we probably get in a fight. Summertime Rendering, like we said, 10 out of 10. Gets better every week. On that break though, Polo hit us with a great song for episode 162. Let us know what you think about that song. And get to know Mike Check Waifu. We asked, what would your one superpower be if you could choose a superpower? Let us know. Made in Abyss. Come on, man. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. Too good. We also, Polo talked about Maid I Hired is mysterious and how it's just like a off-brand. It ain't all that great. We also had a sleeper evaluation. Let us know what you think about your sleepers. How are your sleepers going this season? Yakuza's babysitting has levels, Polo talked about the levels and that it made him sad, but it also, got some good stuff going on. We also talked about our biggest disappointments for the season so far. And episodes of the week were Call of the Night and what is it, Otherworld Pharmacy?
Yes. Parallel World Pharmacy.
Parallel World Pharmacy, that's what it is. And Polo gave us a Boruto update. Let us know if you catch up on Boruto. He's almost caught up and I'm about to catch up too. And that's been episode 162 of Mike Check Waifu.
I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram. And as always, Mike Check.
Did someone just get shot in front of you?
No,
lightning?
I unplugged my lights and it's like loose now. So.
Oh, bro, come on, man. I was like, yo, this Polo just witnessed a murder.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.